Tell them about yourself, man. Tell them.
Oh shit. Okay. I was like concentrated to make sure that everything was good.
We don't die.
Yeah. But anyways, my name's Ed. I own this YouTube channel called God of Maliga, so I don't know if you want to list that in the description or not, but
No.
I've been YouTubing for about 4 years, and I've worked my ass off for pretty much everything I've ever owned, including this car. And I mean, about me, I mean, I'm a happy, yeah, we're gonna go right, actually. I'm a happy-go-lucky, wait, actually, hold on. I'm a happy-go-lucky kind of guy, I guess. I'm always optimistic, and I like cars. I like working on them, whatever. Everything that's done to my cars, I basically do them myself, so.
Balls out here today. And this doesn't have AC, right?
No. You need to do your cross. Right,
no, I just I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. This is my first right-hand drive car I've ever driven. So.
Okay, so just know this: whatever line is to your right, or whatever is closest to your right.
Yeah.
If it's close enough to where like you feel like you're about to hit it, you're good. Okay. I think you're in fourth. You're in fourth.
Oh God. We are gonna die today. From either heat exhaustion or something. It feels normal. Like it doesn't feel like too weird, but like I do like. I see what you're saying. Like when you said move over, I was like, oh shit, like I am pretty far over. I like it. I think I also like it because it's not like stupid loud like my car.
I see it. It's comfortable for sure, especially like with the stock suspension that's on it. Like I was impressed. Like when I first drove the car, I was like, wow, like it's really smooth.
Yeah.
Like it does show its age here and there, but
I like this. So what made you get a GTST? Because I know like a lot of people probably looked at you, they're like, why'd you get a GTST, not an GTR?
Okay, so a lot of people ask me that, and I must say that the biggest reason why is I drove an R32 a long time ago. I went to this drift event with my buddy, and I drove his 240 over, and he broke his 240 at the drift event, and you're in third. And by the way, it's a 5-speed. And then when he broke his 240, I said, listen, I can't drive this car. You're gonna have to. And then he basically said, okay, well, if you can't drive the car, then I guess you could drive my Skyline. Here's the keys. Don't wreck it. It's a $20,000 car. Now, when he said that, I had like my heart sunk because I was like, crap, I have the biggest responsibility over my head right now. But at the same time, I was really excited. And driving his Skyline 2 hours from Shenandoah to Fairfax was the most exhilarating thing I've probably ever experienced. Not so much so, we're gonna turn right, not so much so for like the cool factor of it all, but like the car was just, it was amazing. It had like Toyo R888s and LMGT1s and all this other stuff. Like it was freaking awesome, right? Ever since then, I was like, I've been in love. I either want an S13 and RB swap it, or I want an R32. And then when this popped up on the market, and you know, things were going well for me financially at the time, I said, if I don't jump on this deal, you know, I'm gonna pass up a pretty good car. I kind of bit the bullet a little bit because this car isn't as perfect as I would have thought. But in terms of the GTST versus the GTR argument of it all, it's why am I going to spend like, I think it's like $35,000 for a GTR when I could spend half of that money, get a GTST, put in about 15 grand in the car, and make it much faster than one. And it's rear-wheel drive too, so I can do burnouts. And I don't want to have to pull a fuse or flip a switch or some shit to do burnouts. I think that's kind of dumb. So.
Understandable. Do you ever feel like you probably should have got a GTR?
There are, I mean,
like, are you ever like sitting there and you're just like, damn, maybe I should have got a GTR?
I do think about that a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you, simply because of the motor. Now, the RB20 isn't the best platform to build power in, especially since they have absolutely no torque. But you're in fourth again. Yeah. But watch out, cop. But the fact of the matter is that an RB20 has been proven to be stronger than RB26s and RB25s, and this was just recently that they figured this out. So that kind of made me stop thinking about that more, because I'm like, I have a good motor, they like to rev high, and you know, they can make a decent amount of power. I've seen people put about 400 wheel, you know, on this car. I mean, granted, they switch transmissions, but you know, with the stock transmission and everything, this car can easily make 300 horsepower with no problem whatsoever. Okay. The only weak point of this car is the transmission. So, I mean, I really can't complain, because, I mean, anything over 400, it's almost unusable on the street. So, my whole aspect and my whole thought process of building a car, it's like, I want to make it as streetable as possible. So,
what have you done to it? Like, what's done to this car?
So, I have barely done anything to this car. Besides outside general maintenance, I replaced an interior panel here because this thing fell apart. When I got the car, it had no radio. The radio did not work, which sucked. Like, imagine me driving 3 hours from Richmond with no radio. It sucked. It had no rear speakers. The boost gauge didn't work. And that's pretty much it. So, like, I fixed everything, right? So the vacuum line was shot on the boost gauge, so I fixed that. In terms of what's next for it, coils, full exhaust, wheels. I want to put a front mount intercooler on the car. I want to do a front facing plenum swap. And that's pretty much it. So basically just like the basic things that you would do to one, or an RB swap that's 13. You know, I want to be very simplistic with it all. And if I can at least get 250 wheel, like the way it sits, right? So like, I might get a Haltech at some point or another, or a Nissan.
Okay.
But the main goal is to make at least 250, and then if I'm happy with that power range, I'll stay there. But if not, then I'll go up to 300, and that's where I'm like, enough.
You'll be done.
Yeah, and then if I really want to put that much more money into it, I'm gonna need to take care of the Civic first. I promised myself that. Yeah. And I promised my viewers that, because I know that that's all they're about on my channel. So,
like, if someone offered you like a trade up from this, like, would you trade it up? Like, would you like give this car up?
Probably not, because to trade out of this car would probably the hardest thing any car enthusiast wants to do. Yeah. Because just owning one is a feeling in of itself. Yeah. Getting rid of it is a whole nother level. So like Amar, when he sold his R32, before I got to review it, unfortunately, you know, he would come to me, and when we were talking, when I showed him my car, he's like, dude, this makes me miss my white R32 so much. So, I mean, he had to do what he needed to do. I mean, I get it, but if the circumstances comes up and I need to sell it or get rid of it, then I will. But it's definitely going to be the biggest buckshot to my right foot.
You'll look for any option to not sell it.
Exactly, yeah. I'll probably sell my kidney before I sell this car.
Yeah, how long have you had it now?
I've had it for about almost 5 months.
Okay.
So, actually, no, it's been more than 5 months. It's been a roller coaster, but it's been so much fun. The noises this car makes, the smoke that it bellows out when I do a burnout, it's just freaking awesome, man.
Do you think with like everything you've been doing, like the past 5-6 months with this car, like it's worth it? Like in the end, like
if you know how to work on cars yourself, absolutely. most people, they shy away from Japanese cars because of the maintenance aspect of things and waiting for parts. And yes, that part sucks. But before you even buy one, you have to think about that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not like you could take this car to a shop down the street and expect them to fix it.
Right.
But if you know how to work on cars yourself, I'd say, hell, go for it.
Okay.
You know, if you're familiar with the platform and if you're familiar with general workings of an engine and stuff like that, everything else is very self-explanatory.
Yeah. Okay. Now, for someone who's just like looking for a car, would you say like this is the car?
So I have had somebody ask me, I want a Skyline as my first car. The first thing I told them is that you're making the biggest mistake ever. Because if this is your only car and it breaks down, get ready to lose your job, get ready to lose everything you probably ever owned. Because this car, like I said, the whole waiting for parts thing sucks, right? So if something breaks, you gotta wait maybe a week or two, or maybe even close to a month before you can get, you know, stuff fixed to it.
Right.
And I think that's just basically the most aggravating thing of it all. And if you're really looking forward to a first car, get a hoopty, right?
Yeah.
And then buy this car.
Yeah.
Everybody wants one, but there's a lot of baggage that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait till you see how fast it is.
I would definitely pull this. Alright, my GoPro keeps overheating, but pulling in this car is extremely smooth and it makes Samantha look like a bitch. Fourth again. God damn it. Alright. It's so smooth, but I don't stop the shifting. This is so smooth. Oh my god. You have to have fun with this every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's why it's so hard not to drive it.
Yes. This is so ridiculously smooth. Oh my god. Wow. I'm about to go sell my car right now. Like it's just so effortless. Like
Yeah.
it's fun. Like the power delivery and the torque is there.
This is where people here in Mexico don't know how to drive. But I see you got the right-hand drive aspect of it down already.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Like driving right-hand drive, like I thought it was gonna be like bad. The only thing I'm really having trouble with is making sure I'm shifting and then staying on towards the right side.
My biggest thing with first getting used to it was people passing me on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Because like they just felt so close, like they were about to hit me.
Yes.
But
like when that truck passed us earlier, I was like, oh my god. I got like nervous. No, but it's really nice. Like I like it. And like all this, like it feels really driver oriented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like everything, like I like how everything kind of like faces you. All right, I'm getting used to it. It's a really like, it's a fun car. This is definitely a fun car.
Yeah, certainly.
I like this. This is something that like, but like driving it, like it feels good to drive, but like I can definitely see how you wouldn't want a daily this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, especially like with like no modifications or anything like that. I see the stuff that you're talking about when you say like just because it's an older car, like I do feel that.